Hello everyone, today I'm talking about Call of Duty Ghost Extinction and why I think the entire community's opinion about this game is completely wrong. I've always loved Extinction, and I think in the eyes of the community it always has had wrong judgment, and maybe I can change your mind, so let's just jump into the video and let me know what you think in the comments.
Intel reports the last Extinction squad to come through this town went MIA. Look at this place. It's been a bloody battleground since they were unearthed. Spectre 1, take this drill and destroy any hives on your way to the crater. Arm that nuke and haul ass back here. Let's go.
So, what even is Extinction? Because it's nothing like zombies, which we usually get in any Call of Duty game. However, Extinction was very unique to Call of Duty Ghosts, and it's a more linear game mode that doesn't last forever. Your main objective is to take this drill and plant it at the hives that are around the map and destroy them while protecting the drill from the aliens that start attacking. Once you get to the last hive, you activate a nuke and you have to run all the way back to the beginning and get picked up by the helicopter that dropped you off, while you're also being chased by a lot of different aliens. Every time you destroy one of the hives, you get a skill point, and if you notice on the bottom left of the screen, there's also another challenge every time you activate a drill to get a bonus skill point, which can be very useful because you can upgrade your damage to your weapons, you can get special abilities and perks if you bring them with you, and you can place turrets. Really, it just helps you upgrade your character as you progress. As you can see, the challenge I have right now is keep my shot accuracy above 75%, which I almost actually failed, but when I finish the hive, as long as I'm above that 75%, I will get a bonus skill tree point. Eventually your pistol will stop doing a lot of damage. However, this revolver is really good, I found out, especially if you upgrade your weapon damage to the skill trees. But when you do need a weapon, kind of like zombies, they don't have wall buys. The guns are just kind of sitting on the ground wherever they place them, and you can just go up and buy them. While you are destroying the hives, there is a little bit of an incentive to explore around the map because there are these random loot piles that can actually give you attachments for your guns, different upgrades, different ammo types. Just kind of gives you a little bit of a reason to search around the map because they do really help. This game can be very difficult sometimes. And actually, that's where I think this game is really good at, and that is the difficulty. There's not a lot of things that come out with zombies that make it really hard, except Extinction was the complete opposite. I remember when me and my buddies were kids and we were playing Ghosts, we could barely get past this first area. We would try over and over and over, and now that I'm older, it is still incredibly difficult, especially with 4 people. I really couldn't even finish the video in a full squad because we just couldn't make it. I had to do it solo because it's a bit easier. But that is a huge plus for me because I play a lot of zombies and I really do love training around and getting to those high rounds, but it does become stale sometimes because it is the same exact thing over and over and over with no real objective. And you could argue that, yeah, they have Easter eggs and that's sort of an objective, but at least in Extinction, there is kind of a mission. It feels sort of like a campaign, and you can play it with your friends. It can be very difficult. There's a lot of different things you can upgrade, which is a huge positive for me. There's a lot of different traps, and there's a lot of variation with how you can play this game. It's not as straightforward as zombies. Another thing about the difficulty that I think is actually really nice is when you are playing in a squad of 4, you can't just upgrade whatever you want, because you need to play as a team. Someone should always bring in an armor box and they should be upgrading that because it can be a huge help to get armor for the whole team. Same with there's an ability where you can kind of have an IED that protects the drill, and that can be huge if someone upgrades those. I actually upgrade it when I play solo. There's one that's, I believe is called Feral Instincts, that lets you see enemies through walls, and that can be huge. The only thing is, when you're solo, you can only upgrade and bring in a certain amount of skills and upgrades. So as a team, it is very difficult because it scales with how many people are in the game. And if you all strategically bring in something different, it can make it a huge difference if you're working together instead of just upgrading solo upgrades that help you instead of just the team. Now, as you may see while I was rambling on there, this is a massive hive that is too big for the drill to handle, so you have to call in the helicopter to come shoot it down for you. While the helicopter is shooting down the hive, the game introduces you to a new alien, the Scorpion, which can just shoot acid projectiles at you and the helicopter. Basically, all you're doing is defending the helicopter. You can actually hurt the hive yourself with a turret or propane tanks you throw at it, and you get a bunch of money after you destroy the hive. Once you destroy the giant hive, you move on to the next area of the map, which is kind of in the city, and you do it all over again as the game progresses to get harder and harder. Now, while I move on to the next objective, I think one of my main issues with Call of Duty Ghosts Extinction would be the progression, and if they ever made it again, I would love to see a way better progression system, because there really isn't that much. There is an armory where you can upgrade stuff, but we want more customization, we want upgrades that are a lot cooler, and there needs to be more of a reason to come back, because once you beat the map, there really isn't any reason to come back to it except to play maybe on a higher difficulty. To be fair though, I do think the map designs have really good detail, and this isn't the only map, by the way. If you haven't played Extinction, there's quite a few other maps, and they all have really good map design. For example, one of them is on a massive ship in the ocean. There's a huge boss you have to fight, and I'm sure at some point I'm going to make a video about it. And I think that is one thing that they really nailed on the head with Extinction is the design, because I think the design of the aliens is very unique and looks really nice. I think the mood that the maps give off is also very clean. It's very unique to Extinction. Doesn't feel like any game modes that we've gotten any other Call of Duty, like Zombies, and it really just has its own character to it, and I really do miss playing it in the days that it came out, because it was one of my favorite game modes that ever existed. And I know this video is about Extinction, but I want to take a second to talk about the multiplayer of Ghosts and why people hated it so much. I'm definitely going to make a video about it because I loved it. I absolutely loved it, and I can't believe it got so much hate. Literally, I think some of my favorite moments ever on Call of Duty were playing Infected on Ghosts. I absolutely loved Infected, and I played it so much. So at some point, I'm definitely going to make a video about it because I really don't understand why this game got so much hate. Alright, let's get back to Extinction. As you can see, I'm at the next big hive that gets ready to go to the next area of the map, and you can see I actually started getting some propane tanks ready, and I have a turret ready to start shooting at it. It's just a way to do some bonus damage. It doesn't do much, but trust me, when it gets crazy it can help, because the longer you are on this drill, the way higher chances you have of going down. It's the same as the first big hive where the helicopter comes down. This time there's just a lot more scorpions and other aliens just trying to hurt you, so just do your best to defend the helicopter. After a certain amount of time, you'll be able to pass through the hive, no problem. Again, when you destroy it, you're going to get a bunch of money and some skill points to help you move on to the final area. Another major positive for this game is the weapon design and the handling and the sound design of it all. I really thought Ghosts had unique weapons, and they really felt a lot different than most Call of Duties. I really couldn't pinpoint what's different about the feel for anybody, but it really does feel a lot different when you're playing on Ghosts compared to like Black Ops 2, for example. The guns just feel, in my opinion, they feel a little bit more real and realistic. The sound is nice, like I was saying, and it's just a bit more satisfying using the weapons in Ghosts, in my opinion. Now that I'm moving on to the final area of the game, that means the weapons also get much better. You have one gun in particular called the Saw, and it is an LMG, and let me tell you, it is probably one of the best guns that's ever existed in pretty much any COD. This gun would just tear through everything. And in Extinction, if you had the right perks and everything, you could still move pretty fast while carrying it, and it would just shred through anything. Again, back to the weapon design, this is a very unique looking LMG compared to anything I've really seen almost in any game. Sounds good, is good, and it's just fun to use. Another main feature of the game I haven't spoke about yet is your money. Every time you get a kill, you do get cash, and as you can see on the bottom right, those are the perks and upgrades that I choose to bring into the game with me. So if you're playing as a team, like I was talking about before, you want to have people with different abilities so they can support the team. Now, it's not just as easy as equipping them and then you're good. You have a lot of money management because you can only buy a certain amount, obviously. So if you want to put down an IED like I just did, it's going to cost. So you just want to manage what you're placing, when you're placing it, how is it really going to help the team? Because if you screw yourself and buy something that you didn't mean to, it really could be the difference between the end of the game or not. And actually right here, I just picked up the sniper rifle, which I didn't even know was a gun you could buy on this map ever. I never saw it once when the game came out all the way up to now, and if you saw my zombies videos, you know I'm going to start picking up sniper rifles in really any game mode that I play on any COD because they are very underrated in my opinion. It's very fun to use. If you have good aim, they are very powerful, and it's just an all-around fun gun to use. However, with the slow rate of fire, you definitely still want to have another primary weapon, just because if it gets caught up at close range, it's not going to be great. Now, when it comes to the story of Extinction, I don't think it's that bad. I'm not going to spoil anything for you, but it really isn't that crazy. I would like to have a better story in the future if they ever did make Extinction. That's a big if, because I really don't think they're ever going to. But I think that could be a huge thing that would boost the game again, is having a really interactive, unique story that you can really tell what's happening, and it just drives the gameplay even more. And now that I'm coming up on the final hive, like I said before, once you destroy the last big hive, at least on this map, you have to activate a nuke, and then you're timed to go all the way back to the beginning while you're being chased by a ton of aliens. It can be very tense. Like I was saying before, in co-op, when you're playing with more people, it is so difficult. I really struggled with this playing as a group. At some point, I really do want to make a video completing every map with a 4-man group because it would be a very nice challenge. But as soon as I start the extraction, I'm just going to let the video play just so you can kind of see what's going on, and I will join up with you back at the end of the video. Alright, here we are at the end of the video. Please let me know in the comments if you agree or don't agree, because this game really did get a lot of hate, and I really don't think it deserves all the hate that it got, and I'm definitely going to make more videos on it. I want to beat it on every difficulty. This game can be very difficult compared to zombies, and all around, I just want to know what your opinion is in the comments. Please like and subscribe. Let me know if there's any other kind of video you want to see, and have a good day.